Imagine eating breakfast, talking with your family, planning tomorrow, completely unaware that you have less than 24 hours left to live. Not because of war, not because of disease, but because a mountain behind your city is about to explode. For centuries, people lived in the shadow of this mountain. They farmed its fertile soil, built beautiful homes, raised families, and they had no idea they were living on top of a ticking time bomb. Then, in the year 79 AD, time ran out. This is the terrifying true story of Pompeii, the city that vanished in a single day. If you walked through Pompeii on the morning before the disaster, it would have felt like paradise. The city sat near the sparkling waters of the Bay of Naples. Its streets were busy with merchants, politicians, slaves, and wealthy citizens. Fresh bread baked in ovens. Children played in courtyards. People visited bathhouses, markets, and theaters. To many Romans, Pompeii was a dream destination. But there was one warning sign. The mountain. Mount Vesuvius. The problem was that no one realized it was a volcano. Not a single living resident had ever seen it erupt. As far as they knew, it was simply part of the landscape. A silent giant. Sleeping. Or so they thought. 17 years before the disaster, a powerful earthquake struck the region. Buildings collapsed. Homes were damaged. People were terrified. But earthquakes weren't unusual in the area. Residents repaired the damage and moved on with their lives. Years later, smaller tremors continued. Doors rattled. Walls cracked. Animals behaved strangely. Today, we know these were warning signs. Back then, nobody connected them to a volcanic eruption. Imagine receiving multiple warnings that your city was in danger, but not understanding what they meant. That's exactly what happened. Around midday on August 24th, according to the traditional dating, the mountain finally woke up. Without warning, Vesuvius exploded. A massive column of ash, rock, and gas shot into the sky. Witnesses described it as looking like a giant pine tree stretching into the clouds. Within hours, darkness began to spread across the region. Ash rained down on Pompeii. At first, many people stayed. After all, it was just ash. Annoying. Messy. But not immediately deadly. Then the ash became heavier. Roofs started collapsing. Streets disappeared beneath layers of debris. Panic spread through the city. Some families fled. Others hid indoors. Many hesitated. And every minute made escape harder. What happened next was even worse. Far worse. During the night and early morning, Vesuvius unleashed pyroclastic flows. Think of them as hurricanes made of superheated gas, ash, and rock. They raced down the mountain at incredible speeds. No one could outrun them. Temperatures reached hundreds of degrees Celsius. Entire neighborhoods were overwhelmed in moments. For many residents, death came almost instantly. The city that had been alive just hours earlier vanished beneath volcanic debris. Pompeii was gone. Buried. Silent. Forgotten. Then something extraordinary happened. Because Pompeii had been buried so quickly, it was preserved. Buildings remained standing. Paintings survived on walls. Loaves of bread were found in ovens. Even graffiti remained visible. When archaeologists rediscovered the city centuries later, it was like opening a time capsule from ancient Rome. For the first time, historians could see how ordinary Romans lived. Not just emperors and generals. Regular people. Shopkeepers. Families. Workers. Their final moments had been frozen in time. Pompeii's story is more than a disaster story. It's a reminder. The people of Pompeii woke up believing tomorrow was guaranteed. They made plans. Went to work. Laughed with friends. Just like we do. And then, in a matter of hours, everything changed. Nearly 2,000 years later, the city still speaks to us. Not through words. But through the streets, homes, and lives left behind beneath the ash. A haunting snapshot of a world that disappeared in a single day. If you enjoyed this story and want more fascinating moments from history, subscribe and let me know in the comments. What historical event should we explore next?